a special presentation of HBO Sports, celebrating 20 years of World Championship Boxing.
Time, a period in which action occurs. Oh, what a right hand. With an overhand right, Foley will not get up. Tony with a straight right. Tonight at Caesar's Palace, three of boxing's best seek to prove a single truth, that this is their time. First, it's Roy Jones, a 24-year-old who some already say is pound for pound the best fighter in the world. And after having knocked out 19 of 20 opponents, Jones knows his time is now. Tonight, Roy Jones seeks to move closer to what seems his destiny, the World Middleweight Championship. For Iran Barkley, it is again an opportunity to embarrass those who said his time had run out. The survivor, Barkley, still dispenses lickings and keeps on ticking. Barkley all over Foley. Tonight, Barkley risks it all, his title and his reputation, against his chief nemesis, Tony, who has long awaited this moment in time. Tony slugging away. Tonight in the desert, James Toney plans to show Iran Barkley why he's called lights out. Tony hopes to add one more title to his ring dossier.
Very wobbly in the center of the ring. Takes another right hand. Now drops off the ropes.
Unbelievable! Unbelievable! We are live from Caesar's Palace in Las Vegas, Nevada, as HBO Sports presents a boxing doubleheader. First, you'll see middleweight contender Roy Jones as he takes on Glenn Wolfe, never knocked down, never knocked out, in a 10-round bout. Then in our event, IBF super middleweight champion Iran the Blade Barkley defends his title against James Lights Out Toney. It's scheduled for 12 rounds. Caesar's Palace in Las Vegas, Nevada. To this oasis in the desert, they come from all over, some to gamble, some to escape, some to enhance their professional dreams. Tonight indoors in the sold-out Caesar's Palace Pavilion, two champions meet. Soon, two angry, focused, determined warriors will rumble in the for it all Barkley versus Toney. Hello again, everybody. I'm Jim Lampley. 1 week ago, we were in Madison Square Garden for a heavyweight championship fight which did not exactly do glory or justice to this sport. Now we get ready for a match which we are told might have taken place outside the ring if you had let these two guys, Iran Barkley and James Toney, go against each other, and everybody looking forward to an exciting punch-for-punch battle between two superior fighters. Here with me, as always, HBO boxing analyst Larry Merchant. Larry, for about 8 months now, we've been hearing that the promoters and managers deserve an award just for getting them into the ring with each other and preventing the fight from breaking out at luncheon buffets and post-fight parties and news conferences and any number of other locations. What about the supposed blood feud between Iran and James? Fact or fantasy?
What I think we have here basically is a lot of raging testosterone. Two fighters thinking and talking with their hormones. This all started after a press conference after a fight by James Toney in which he spotted Iran Barkley and said very sweetly, "You're next." And Barkley replying also sweetly, "Son, you ought to show a little bit more respect for your elders," or words to that effect. All the dissing and all the bashing and barking goes into the ring where it belongs. There's only one thing I am sure of tonight. Unlike last week, this fight will last longer than the national anthem.
Yeah, well, that'll be good for us as well, and we're looking forward to that. And later on this evening, Larry, we'll have a chance to ask former heavyweight champion George Foreman about the experience of going into the ring against someone for whom you have a real and legitimate hatred. He has a very interesting answer, but that'll be later. Right now, George, we get ready to look at the prize young middleweight contender who has occupied everybody's attention in the sport for the past few months, Roy Jones against a tough, durable opponent in Glenn Wolfe. What about Roy Jones and his potential?
Now, Roy Jones is something special in the eyes of a trainer and a manager. He's everything you want from a middleweight. Power of a heavyweight and the ability to escape harm of a lightweight. You can't ask for much from a fighter. This guy can be and could be the next coming of a great fighter.
And
could be.
Just to underline the point, you say the power of a heavyweight in the middleweight body.
He can knock you down with any shot he throws from any angle, but at the same time, he's very elusive. This is what you want from a middleweight. This is what the world expects, because the middleweight is the most dangerous weight class in the boxing division.
All right, everybody's expecting that Jones will be a titleist at some point. Let's take a look at the man who is, in effect, his opponent tonight. And this is Glenn Wolfe. He's a veteran, did some time in prison in Florida, but has done himself nothing but credit since coming out, including one of those 3 losses. You saw it here last April on the undercard of the George Foreman versus Alex Stewart fight, when Glenn Wolfe went 12 very tough rounds with James Toney, back when Toney was fighting at 160 pounds. And here comes the man who's expected to be the next 160-pound titleist somewhere down the road, Roy Jones, who first earned global fame when he was robbed of an Olympic gold medal in Seoul, South Korea in 1988, and now, befitting his dignified stature as the most celebrated non-titleist in boxing, he enters the ring in a mock tuxedo.
I guess he thinks this is his formal coming out, Jim. And for him, this is the equivalent of a $10 million fight. He saw what happened last week to Ray Mercer. He, in fact, referred to it, and he knows that when you get to this stage of your development, you must not only win, but look good winning, because everything gets magnified. There's a chance down the road he could be a marquee name fighter.
And that Glenn Wolfe is nobody to start off on the top with. He's elusive, takes a good shot, and he keeps coming.
All right, let's take a look at Roy Jones's record. 25 far, most of them against extremely limited and unknown opposition. 19 KOs. His most impressive victory was here on HBO this past December against a fighter named Percy Harris, whom he knocked down in the first 10 seconds of the bout, and against whom he went on to score a 4-round TKO. And right now, look at the tail of the tape. Jones and Wolfe come in above 160 pounds. They didn't have to reach any limit here because it's a non-title bout. You see that Wolfe is taller on paper, but actually he crouches down. Jones is more the stand-up fighter, so he presents the taller picture in the ring. Punch stat numbers, Larry.
And let's take a look and see just how active these guys are. And as you can see, Wolfe is out there throwing a lot of punches. But Jones is much more economical and effective with the punches that he throws. Jab, although he is a good boxer, Jones doesn't throw or land that many, and Wolfe throws fewer.
And Harold Letterman, the rules for the bout.
Roy Jones Jr. and Glenn Wolfe will box tonight using the rules of the Nevada State Athletic Commission. 10 rounds. There is no standing 8 count. The 3 knockdown rule is in effect. You can be saved by the bell only in the last round. Only the referee can stop the fight. And if a butt causes an accidental cut, and that cut causes the stop, we go to the scorecards after 3 rounds have been completed. Before that, it's a technical draw. Jim?
All right, Harold, after last week's unusual trip to New York, we are back in Las Vegas. And that means that Michael Buffer is back in the ring. We go to him for the pre-fight introductions.
Ladies and gentlemen, good evening and welcome to Caesar's Palace here in Las Vegas, Nevada, where tonight Top Rank Incorporated, in association with the undisputed, undefeated king of beers, Bud, presents professional boxing for your entertainment. All the bouts tonight are sanctioned by the Nevada State Athletic Commission. Before we continue, we send our best wishes to our friends of boxing unable to attend tonight: Al Silvani, Teddy Brenner, Chris Dundee, and Gene DiPiano. The scoring for this bout will be done on a 10-point must system, and the 3 judges assigned at ringside by the Nevada State Athletic Commission are Dalby Shirley, Lou Tabbitt, and Reddy. And when the bell rings, the man in charge of the action, referee Toby Gibson. And now, ladies and gentlemen, from Caesar's Palace here in Las Vegas, 10 rounds of boxing between 2 of the middleweight division's deadliest punchers. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner, wearing the light blue trunks and weighing in at 163½ pounds. He's fighting out of Miami, Florida, and brings an outstanding national record, 27 victories, 24 by KO, 3 defeats and 1 draw. Ladies and gentlemen, ranked number 6 in the world by the IBF, introducing Glenn Big Bad Wolfe. And his opponent across the ring in the red corner, wearing the black trunks with red trim and weighing in at 164 pounds. Fighting out of Pensacola, Florida, this 1988 Olympic silver medalist is undefeated as a professional with a record of 20-0, 19 by KO. Ladies and gentlemen, ranked number 2 in the world, Roy Jones Jr.
All right, baby. Okay, y'all get on.
Okay, gentlemen, I've given you both your instructions prior to this fight in your respective dressing rooms. I'm telling both camps right now, I'm recognizing this as a legal punch since Mr. Wolfe's trunks are high. Roy's are okay. Obey my commands at all times. Good luck to both of you.
Everyone wants to know, can Roy Jones restore the glamour of the middleweight division? We should get a clue tonight.
Remember that Glenn Wolfe, in 31 previous bouts, has never been knocked down, never been knocked out. Of Roy Jones's 19 knockouts, 15 have come within the first 5 rounds. His bouts average a little under 4 rounds per outing.
Roy Jones is trying to get him to come forward so he can instigate the fight. He seemed to function better trying to get out of the way of harm, countering you with punch power. Doesn't like you using the left jab. Good right hand.
If he just stays back, the history of the thing seems to indicate that Wolfe will come to him. Wolfe is a relatively active middleweight, likes to throw about 80 punches per round.
The only thing I see missing out of Jones' arsenal just doesn't have an active left jab. He's got proper height, proper power, but he doesn't use the jab a lot. Only to instigate a right hand.
He's very fluid with it, though, George. When he throws it, it's effortless for him to try with the jab. Some fighters have to think about it. With Roy, it's just natural.
Yeah, but a jab has got to be a punch to knock a guy off balance, not just to throw a right hand or hook on. That's what he does. He just pause the throw.
He whacked away with a right to the body and sneaked it under Wolfe's elbow. Now he lands with an overhand right. Wolfe, for the most part, staying behind a tight defensive package early. Short left inside, and Wolfe is stunned. And the right over the top, and now Wolfe is holding on. Glenn Wolfe has never been knocked down, but he's probably never been in against a 160-pounder with the power of Roy Jones. Oh, what star quality. Jones just now beginning to get warmed up.
He threw about 4 left hooks in less than a second there, George.
Oh, what a left hook inside by Jones. Dances, drops his hands, and pounds away. And Glenn Wolfe has had enough.
I thought he's indicating that he got hit by a low blow, not that he wants to stop the fight.
Gibson has stopped the fight.
I think that's... well, I'm just not sure what's happened here. I think it's a little premature. Was that a legitimate blow, George? Did he get hit low? We'll have to see what the replay shows us.
I think he was indicating he was hit below the belt.
That's what I
The
thought.
referee thought he was just turning away from a good headshot, which he did get hit with a good right hand.
I mean, we're talking about a guy who's fought over 30 professional fights and never knocked down before. That is certainly out of character. And I'm glad I didn't say that this fight wouldn't last longer than the national anthem.
Exactly. That's okay. It seems to have lasted 2 seconds longer than last week's exercise between Bo and Dokes.
That's it.
They're the two short lefts inside that started things off.
Let's see if we can find this punch that hurt Wolfe. Was it a legitimate punch?
In the body. It was not below.
No, that was not low.
It was not low, but he tried to indicate that to get this rest.
Well, it looked like all along that Glenn Wolfe had a concrete jaw. Now it turns out he had a glass stomach.
Or a glass liver.
I think he's never been in a guy that could hit that well in the middleweights. He just is something strange. Every now and then they come along like that.
He has near supernatural punching power.
You know, we're talking about a guy in Wolfe who wants to trying to get away from the crossfire of guys shooting guns. 2 bullets caromed off his head. I mean, this guy's tough.
He was actually hurt earlier, and he just didn't recover.
All right, now Wolfe goes across the ring to congratulate Jones. The tuxedo back on, and we go up to ring announcer Michael Buffer for the official decision.
Ladies and gentlemen, referee Toby Gibson has to step in and stop the bout. The official time, 2 minutes, 23 seconds of the very first round. He's still undefeated. Ladies and gentlemen, the winner by TKO, Roy Jones Jr.
According to punch stat numbers, Roy Jones landed 71% of his power shots, meaning every time that he was throwing a left hook or a right cross, he was landing 7 out of 10 times. And there are the total punches. You see that Jones threw 66 and landed 30 of them. And as I say, considerably more than half of the power shots. That's awfully tough to compete with.
And when you're a veteran, you don't expect a young guy to be that accurate that early. Sometimes you think what's going to happen next round when he gets a sweat on his body.
And to be honest, we've made a lot of the fact that Wolfe has never been knocked down or out, but he had not had a fight since last April and spent much of that time, he says, simply sitting in his house and relaxing. So he may not have been anywhere near his personal best coming in on a night when clearly he would have needed to be. Larry Merchant now with Roy Jones.
Roy, what did you see happening there? Why did he give up that quickly? Who is not known for it?
Well, when he came out, you know, he was throwing nice sharp punches at first, but he quickly found out that he was much outclassed. He couldn't even get close to me. Then I was hitting him so much, and I was so much quicker than he was until it was starting to disencourage him. So when I hit him with a body shot, he really didn't even expect a punch, and that body shot took a lot out of him.
Well, he may have a concrete jaw, but I think you found some glass in his stomach there.
I would have found some in his jaw, too. First, I'd like to thank God for giving me the opportunity. Hi to my mom and everybody back at home. Mr. Steve, my cousin Shantae and Robert down in Daytona, my next door neighbor Donna. Jay, I told you.
All right, Roy, were you determined to come out here tonight and do something dazzling as a way of proclaiming that you are finally ready to go for a title?
Not necessarily. I just came out here to do what I do best, and that is perform for all the people. See, right now, you know, people just not getting the opportunity to see as we perform.
Tell us what you see here at the end of the fight.
The body shot, because he had been looking for the hook, right? And yeah, I knew he had quit then because I was put a good body shot on him. But every time he looked for the hook, he was scared of my hook mainly because I caught him one early. So he started definitely overprotecting himself for it.
Now you say you weren't looking to dazzle everybody, but you came out in this dazzling semi-tuxedo. You came out with tassels on your shoes. Certainly you were trying to do some kind of showbiz thing here.
Well, me and my teacher, my former high school teacher, Miss Law, she always gets together for the job. Thank you, Miss Law. And, you know, I mean, I can't help it. She dressed me the best. I can't win one thing, best dressed. I mean, I win nothing else in boxing, but I can win best dressed.
So you're saying your high school teacher dresses you for every match or just for this one?
She dresses me for every match. That's why I always look so good.
So maybe she had the premonition that this was a sort of formal coming out party for you.
Maybe she did, and if she did, then welcome. Thank you, Ms. Law, because you did a good job. We got Bill Marsh and Steve, too. I forgot about them.
All right, what's next? Tony has indicated that he is going to abandon his 160-pound championship to continue to fight 168 pounds, win or lose against Iran Barkley. Where does that leave Roy Jones?
Well, that leaves Roy Jones looking for whatever's next, you know. James Tony says things like, you know, well, Roy Jones doesn't fight anybody, he's fighting bums. And look, he just fought Glenn Wolfe 8 months ago and went 12 rounds with him. So, you know, I ain't sure what James Tony's trying to do. When I see him, he never says any of these things to me. So what's next for me, I'm not really sure, but and talk things over, see what's going to happen. It could be a possibility of me moving up to 168 and fighting. It don't make me no difference.
Thank you, Roy Jones, very much. And I think, Jim, we just might have the real birth of a potential superstar here tonight. Back to you.
All right, thanks very much, Larry. Well, if clothes make the man, and certainly that was proven here tonight. Impeccably dressed coming in, and an impeccable performance. He looked good, George.
Yeah, especially when he took his shirt off. The guy's got a lot of potential.
Let's take a look at the first round. You can talk about that potential. We're going to see now the early stages of the round in which Jones appeared to be waiting Wolfe out and trying to tempt Wolfe to come to him.
And I was surprised because Roy Jones had no sweat on his body. You wouldn't think he'd be able to throw that many accurate shots not being warm like that, but yeah, he fooled everybody. Trying to draw to his power, lead him into some good right-hand shots. He's not dependent upon his left jab as I would expect a young potential guy with that much potential.
So you'd like to see him throw more jabs and make them count for more.
Yeah, because as you get up the ladder, some guys are going to know that you can punch, and they're not just going to go into a spider's web and be grabbed by much power. They're going to wait around. You're going to have to lead with a jab, get their eyes blinking, and then take shots. He's not doing that now.
George, like a lot of great prospects and like a lot of great punchers, he has a tendency to hold his hands low. He seems very casual about defense. Is he going to run into somebody along the way who will take advantage of that?
That's exactly right. You couldn't have said it any better. Sometimes when you're a puncher, you want to got a opening that you're leaving for him with your hands down so you can hit him. But there's some guys who are clever enough to exploit that. He's going to have to pick up on that as his career goes on.
And as he fights against tougher fighters, which no doubt will be the case next time he enters the ring.
And he fought a real tough guy here, but he just exploited him too quick. The guy didn't have a chance. The veterans, they want you to get warmed up, find out how you punch and all of that. By the time he found out everything, he was gone.
I think that punch meant something. That was the first real whack to the body, and Wolfe clearly didn't like it.
Yeah, he's so quick that he can throw that right hand off balance like that. Roy Jones got real quickness.
All right, now in a minute we're going to see the two left hooks inside that really set up the finish of the bout. Boom and boom.
And a right hand. We didn't see that earlier, but he did take a good right hand in there.
And then there's a quick right hand on top. And at this point, he knows that he has Wolfe in trouble, and he's just looking for openings for power shots. And look at the speed of his hands, George.
Doing the old bolo, he hasn't found his knack yet. When you get into boxing, sometimes you got to find your own identity, and he hasn't found it yet. Once he finds his identity, he is going to be a monster out there.
There was
a little
another
Sugar Ray
left to the
Leonard, a
body.
little Muhammad Ali, but let me tell you, this guy's got greatness of his own.
So the obvious comparison is to Leonard, but he's rangier and seems to have more natural punching power than Leonard.
No better. No, I couldn't have said it any better.
All right.
Too much power.
Okay, so we have seen what Roy Jones has to offer, and now Roy becomes the most interested spectator in the building.
You better believe it. He's got to wonder what's going to happen in the middleweights now.
And there's a lot of talk about Roy Jones against James Toney the next time out, if Toney can succeed here. That bout would take place at 168 or 160 remains to be seen. Right now, we're getting ready to go up 8 pounds to 168 for Tony Barkley. So often in a championship fight, the first punches are verbal. The first bloody bruises delivered in a war of words outside the ring.
I send that message because I'm going to kill you. I'm going to kill you.
Barkley, your mouth just got you knocked out.
Tony, you're a punk, and punks have to be punished.
He won't last that long. He's going to be cut up. He's already ugly. He can be real ugly when I get done with him.
In a championship fight, it isn't just about skill, will, and heart. There's a psychological game as well. The power of self-confidence marries the power of intimidation.
I just don't like you, Barkley. Tonight is lights out for you, baby.
Every time they count me out, I knock them out.
But then the time comes when all the talking must be backed up. A time when violent words are replaced by fists of fury.
Tony, see this fist? I'm gonna ram it down your throat.
I waited a long time. Tonight, Barkley gets knocked out.
Tony, the talking's over. It's time to put up or shut up out in the ring.
Tonight in Las Vegas, two of boxing's bad boys, Iran Barkley and James Toney,